There's a lot of people probably listening now that have a lot they want to say,
Yeah.
but if they say it, they're going to lose their job, or there's going to be immediate consequences, which might mean they can't feed their family.
Yeah, it might mean that, but it also might mean that if they bite their tongue and pretend to be something other than they are, they'll be a weak model for their children. And, is that better than having some financial instability? Maybe here's a counter proposition. If your job requires you to lie, maybe you should find another job.
Mhm.
Now, look, I also understand that there are strategic considerations in such a decision. There's no sense martyring yourself stupidly. And if you're going to say what you believe to be the case, then you need to put yourself in a position where doing so won't be instantly catastrophic in a way you can't fix, because that's not wise. Now, when things blew up around me, I had 3 sources of income. That wasn't accidental. Now, people say, well, you were fortunate. It's like, yeah, and careful.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to have all my eggs in one basket. And that turned out, well, I knew that. It's like you have no autonomy if you have all your eggs in one basket. So if you're going to think strategically, if you're going to think like someone who's at war, let's say, then you don't leave a mortal flank exposed.
Mm.
And so here's a rule. If you find yourself in a position where you're unable to speak, you haven't fortified your territory properly. Right. So then you have to think about that. It's like you think, okay, why can't I say what I believe to be the case? Where am I vulnerable? And you can say, well, that's inevitable. It's like, no, it's not. It's not inevitable. That doesn't mean it isn't difficult to fortify and to put yourself in a position where you're on the offense successfully. That's hard. But retreating one step at a time defensively for your whole life and shrinking while you do it, that's also difficult. It's just the kind of difficult that wears you down and makes you sick of yourself. That's not a good plan. That's a bad plan.